Bro, some people are not born ordinary. Some people come into this world with something different inside of them. You can see it in their eyes. Like God put extra fire inside their soul for a reason. And this man was supposed to be great. Not regular great either. I'm talking about change the world type of great. The type of man that was supposed to heal people, lead people, and inspire the people. The type of man that the kids point and say, yeah, I want to be like him one day. But instead, the world got to him first. And that's the scary part about life nobody talks about. Sometimes the environment around you slowly kills the person you were supposed to become. Not instantly, but slowly, piece by piece, until eventually you don't even recognize yourself anymore. And that's exactly what happened to him. Not instantly, but slowly. Because he was so young, he still had light in him, still had dreams, still had a purpose, still believed that life meant something bigger. He loved music, not because he wanted fame, not because he wanted the chains or the woman. He loved music because it made him feel alive. When he made songs, people listened, not because they were perfect, but because they were real. The pain was real, the emotion was real, and his soul was real. People used to tell him, bro, you're different. You're gonna make it out. You have something special. And deep down, he truly believed them. He really believed that God had a purpose for his life. But the problem was, his environment was stronger than his discipline. And bro, that sentence right there destroys millions of people every single year. Because talent means nothing if your environment keeps feeding your destruction. And that's what happened. Slowly, the streets became louder than his purpose. The attention became louder than his purpose. And the money became louder than his purpose. And we'll never forget about the ego that came right along too. Eventually, he stopped chasing greatness and started chasing validation. And bro, that right there is where most people lose themselves. Because the world teaches men that being respected means money, fear, women, and chains, violence, and ego, and attention. Nobody teaches young men peace anymore. Nobody's teaching these young men purpose anymore. Everybody just wants to look dangerous. Everyone wants to look rich, or even look like they don't care. So eventually, he became exactly what his environment rewarded. And the sad part is, people cheered him on while he destroyed himself. That's the craziest thing about modern day culture. People will clap for self-destruction as long as it looks entertaining. And suddenly, the music changed. It started to turn dark, or evil in a sense. Now every song was about violence, revenge, drugs, and women, ego, money, and pain. And the world rewarded him for it. More views, more money, more attention, and more fake love. But spiritually, he was dying. And nobody around him cared. Because as long as he kept making money, everyone around him benefited from the self-destruction. That's another thing that nobody talks about. Sometimes the people around you don't actually love you. They love the version of you that benefits them. And when you're surrounded by people that profit from your destruction, you'll almost never escape. And eventually, he became addicted to power. Not real power, fake power, street power, ego power, and the fear type of power. The type of power that disappears the second that life gets real. He's not just rapping about violence anymore, he's living it. Because eventually the character that you pretend to be becomes who you are. And one thing about hatred, if you feed it long enough, it becomes your identity. Now he's carrying guns everywhere while looking over his shoulder and trusting nobody, sleeping angry, paranoid constantly, and emotionally disconnected. And people online start calling him real, GOAT, and legend. But bro, how can you call somebody a king while they're destroying their own soul? That's not strength. That's pain disguised as masculinity. And eventually, people start dying. Real people, real mothers losing sons, real kids growing up without fathers, real blood spilled. And every time it happened, his heart got colder. Because violence changes people spiritually. You can't normalize destruction without it eventually destroying you too. That's why his eyes changed over the time. You ever notice that with some people? Their eyes stop looking human after a while. Like any light disappeared. That's what hatred does. That's what trauma does. That's what ego does. And prison didn't save him. It just trapped him alone with the man that he became. And that's the worst type of prison of all. Not a cell, but in your own mind. Because eventually the money faded. The hype faded. The woman faded. The chains faded. The fake friends disappeared. And now all he had left was his thoughts. And deep down, he knew that he betrayed himself. He knew God showed him a different path. He knew he was supposed to become something way greater than this. But pride is dangerous, because some people would rather destroy themselves than admit that they lost their way. And now we got older, still chasing the same validation, still trying to prove something, still trying to look dangerous, while still stuck in survival mode. Meanwhile, everybody else is growing up, buying homes and building families and finding peace while healing. And he's still mentally trapped at 19 years old. That's what the streets really does to people. It literally freezes your soul in survival mode. And eventually, one day, you wake up realizing you survived everything, but never actually built anything. No legacy, no peace, no family structure, no emotional stability, no spiritual growth, just trauma, ego, money, and regrets. And the saddest part, he had the ability to inspire millions positively. And that's what hurts the most, because some people were gifted enough to shift the whole world, but broken enough to destroy themselves before they ever fulfilled the mission. And bro, that's why environment matters so much, because if you normalize destruction long enough, you eventually stop recognizing peace. Some people literally became addicted to chaos, addicted to dysfunction, addicted to pain, because pain becomes familiar, and familiar feels safe. That's why some people sabotage every blessing that God gives them, because healing becomes uncomfortable when trauma is all you know. And the message of this whole story isn't don't chase success. No, success isn't evil. Money isn't evil, cars are not evil, women and jewelry is not evil. But if your entire identity becomes built around impressing other broken people, you will lose yourself every single time. Because eventually, the image becomes more important than the soul. And modern society rewards image over soul constantly. That's why so many people are secretly miserable now. Everybody's performing, but nobody's healing. Everybody's flexing, but nobody's growing. Everyone's trying to look rich, while spiritually bankrupt. And the truth is, some of the strongest people move quietly. They build families quietly. They build businesses quietly, while healing quietly, and protect their people quietly, while leading quietly. Because real masculinity isn't about looking dangerous. It's about building something that stands when you're gone. And that's what he never understood until it was too late. He thought fear was respect. He thought money was purpose. But real purpose feels different. Purpose gives you peace, while chaos gives temporary excitement. And millions of young men right now are standing at the same exact crossroads he stood at. You got two paths to take. Path 1, ego, validation, destruction, fast money, fake respect. The other path, path 2, discipline, growth, peace, wealth, purpose, and legacy. And the scary part, the self-destructive path always looks way more exciting at first. That's why people choose it. But long term, path 2 builds kingdoms. Path 1 builds graves. And for real, the realest thing I can ever tell any of you guys that are watching this video, don't let your environment decide who you become. Because some environments are designed to destroy greatness before it even ever fully develops. And God gave you gifts, so protect them. Protect your mind. Protect your energy. Protect your purpose. Because once the world gets a hold of a lost man with talent, it will monetize his self-destruction until there's nothing left in him. And by the time most people realize that they lost themselves, they are already too deep into a character that they created. So stop trying to look dangerous for broken people. Stop trying to impress people that secretly want you to fail. Stop worshiping attention. Stop chasing attention from crowds that disappear the second you struggle. And become the person that you were actually sent here to become. Because one day, everyone eventually meets themselves in silence. And when that day comes, money can't save you. Ego can't save you. While the followers can't save you. So only the truth remains. It's your boy Young Rome. I hope y'all appreciate and like the new content. Been really on my grind. I hope the new video gave you an inspiration to keep going. Hope you really like the story too. I didn't make a video about this, but I want to keep this at the end, so I should have said this at the beginning. It is 90 days of being sober today. 90. It's crazy how fast time has flew. So if you are trying to become sober, or if you trying to let go of any type of vice or anything that's holding you, right? Just know you can do it. 90 days flew and 10 years will fly, because I'm gonna stay sober. Anyways, I gotta go hop into this next video. Brain's going crazy to make sure I get this content out. Your boy got a 10-hour shift tomorrow. Yeah, I said 10 to something, I don't know, but I gotta go get this bread too. So I hope you stay blessed and stay loving. Pray up, you know, pray to your angels. Thank God for the stuff that you have. It's your boy Young Rome, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Peace.
Lighting up a new song, doing it so wrong. She throwing me her thong, I'm getting in my mode. Where you go so far.